Hi, my name is Beth Hiley. I'm here for BoardGameGeek, and we're here for our second interview of Essen 2011 on opening day on Thursday. I'm sitting here with Christine from Days of Wonder. Good morning. And
Eric Martin.
Eric Martin.
BTG News. Filling in.
I know, which we see you in text a lot. It's nice to see
That's
your
right.
face.
We got a face here to prove this.
You're a real person.
That's right.
But Christine and Eric are here to show us the new Ticket to Ride expansion. So I'm going to let you take it away.
Okay, thank you. So this is actually Ticket to Ride Asia. And this expansion is actually the first volume of what we call the Ticket to Ride map collection, which is introduced here today for the first time. And the second volume will come in a little later. So today we can focus on actually showing you a few of the new things that we introduced in this version. So it's actually a double-sided board. With this one we have two new maps, both of Asia. And one of them is called the Legendary Asia, and the other one is Team Asia, which actually, as the name indicates, is played in teams. That's the first one that we have that's played like this, which allows to have up to 6 players this time.
Working in teams of 2.
Exactly, in teams of 2, so we can have 4 or 6. So here we're just going to pretend we're 4 players.
You and the other person here.
It's our imaginary fourth.
That's our friend. So basically, this is why we also have these little wooden card holders, because that allows you to share with your teammates some cards. So let's go into a few of the rules. I'm not going to detail out how you play Ticket to Ride in general. I'm just going to assume that your viewers all know about the basic version of the game. So in this map, we have several new things going along with the introduction of team play. You actually, in the beginning, are dealt 4 cards of 4 destination cards.
Okay.
You can keep a minimum of 2 and up to 4. And the way it works, let me show you. Like, since we're the 2 of us, each of us gets 4. And we have to put 1 in on the holder, which will be shared. So that indicates your teammate one of the routes you have to complete. And you keep the other, if you choose to keep 1 or more additional cards, you can keep them for yourself, which makes it a little bit challenging because you don't know everything that your teammate wants to accomplish here.
Okay.
So let's just pretend.
So we'll say I'm going to do 2. Madras to Hanoi is our shared one here.
Okay.
And we'll do Nanning to Shanghai as my personal one there, which obviously I wouldn't say that out loud.
Okay.
But
and I'm going to share Chiang Mai to Fuzhou. And I'm also going to be challenged in pronouncing the names right. But and I'm going to keep 1 for myself, which I'll play openly just for pretending. So a few other new things here. You can see that for the first time we also have triple routes.
Okay.
These 3 and 1 more here. So these, you can actually use 2 out of the 3, and then it closes up. The last, once 2 are taken, whichever color, the last one cannot be used. So you still have more chances than in double routes, but you
can still get locked out.
Need to be aware. Yes,
right.
Exactly. One other specific rule is that this route remains open, but if you play 4 people, the double routes are closed once 1 is used. It's the same thing as the 2 and 3 player games where you cannot use both of them. Okay. If you played with 6 people, everything would be open.
And the tunnels as well look like we're turning up more cards than
With
than
tunnels
normal.
This time, it's we have a number that indicates the number of cards that gets turned, and that makes it a little bit more challenging, especially for routes like this. You have 1 segment, but we played a game yesterday where we actually had 3 out of the 6 turn out yellow.
Right.
So it was very costly.
Okay. So good representation of the Himalaya.
Yes,
go through
exactly. That's how we say it. It will cost you dearly to go through the Himalayan.
So does the card play itself stay the same? Each person has their own hand of cards. We're still...
Yes, so thanks for asking. That's a good question. Actually, every time you draw cards, which you do the same way, 2 cards per person, you actually need to share 1. You can choose which one if you want to share the first one you draw or the second one. but you have to share one with your teammate, which then gives us a common deck of cards that you build on, and whenever you lay down cards to have put some tracks on the board, you can use those. They are common cards.
So you'll actually have
exactly.
a goal rack and a card rack together that mutually shared between the two of you.
Exactly.
And you each have your individual hands as well. Okay.
So I might be banking on some of these shared cards, which you might take a turn before I'm ready.
Exactly. So it's a team play that actually adds a lot of challenges this way, because you constantly need to be mindful of what your teammate is doing.
And are there restrictions on communicating with your partner?
Yes, you are not supposed to, which leads to some funny, funny games, yes. But you're not supposed to say what you're doing or indicate in any way where you want to go. So that makes for fun games.
Not a good negotiation game.
So the basic card play is the same. The scoring is roughly the same. End game as well works the same, or is it different?
So here the end game is the same, except that you have two bonuses.
Okay.
One is the usual one for the longest route, which we call Asian Express here, and the other one is the Asian Globetrotter, which is also one that's known from Europe. Yeah, the biggest number of tickets completed.
Okay.
So similar.
And we each have a few more trains as well among the teammates, but the end game condition
exactly.
is the same.
So you have a total of 9 additional trains so that you can share equally. You split and you have 27 each. The way the game, the last turn is triggered this time is between the two players is when you have a total of only 4 trains left.
Among the two of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Whichever combination.
And you only have one combined score, so...
yes.
So we are only, if we are a team, we are only represented by the black trains and only have one score marker that is black.
Got it.
Okay.
All right.
So on the other side, we have, this time we don't need the card holders. Actually, it's every man on his own, or woman. And we need to use exactly the other deck of cards, which you also draw.
Thank you.
So
similar looking route cards to what we've seen before.
Yes. So on this one,
are they all short? Are they all extremely short, or just by chance? Or is this not shuffled?
Not really.
Okay. All right, excellent. Longer routes.
Right.
Okay.
So you know, you have the issue here is that I didn't deal the longer routes, which are separate.
So like a Europe, like Tickets Right Europe, you have one long route and you have a number of short routes as well.
Right, and you get only one chance at those.
Okay.
You actually separate, you're supposed to separate the tickets. So
they are color-coded long and short.
Exactly. So
and
the
how does
opportunity to have long routes.
So how does the gameplay differ?
So this one has one completely new rule. You can see, before I get to that, you can see ferries just like in the Europe version, where you have to use one of the locomotives to be able to complete those routes.
Right.
But the new rule, which I like, is that whenever you use one of the routes with some sort of X's on them, these, exactly, you count the X's you have in your route, and the number corresponds to the number of train cards that you have to discard. Now, there's a twist that, of course, gives you a shorter stack to play with, but these are worth points as well. So at the end of the game, it's 2 points per train card here.
Okay.
So it kind of speeds up the game to some extent. You don't have as many train cards.
So this is actually a 6-point play.
Exactly. Which
for 4 trains.
Yeah, it depletes your supply.
7,
it depletes your supply, but it kind of forces the opponent to also go pretty fast when you take those routes.
Okay.
You're going to
gaining fame for losing famous train wrecks in the mountains.
Exactly. Yes. So points are the same, but at the end, one new bonus, which is actually the biggest number of cities connected in one network. So say if we had
so making
trains
a
here,
twisty route like in other games does not help you necessarily. You have to you have to spread out and connect the cities?
Not necessarily. You can have one full connected network, and that will actually give you all the bonuses.
But you don't count each city twice. If you have a pretzel network.
No, it's true. You don't count them twice, but the more you have connected overall, the better. So when you have short routes like these, this can pay off quite well because it's shorter to connect them. You can pass through a lot of these.
Right.
As opposed to when you take long routes, usually the longest route bonus really gives an edge to someone who uses really long segments.
Okay.
So this one you get really a bonus for the most cities you can connect.
Okay. And this was one of the prize-winning maps as well,
Yes,
correct?
exactly. So actually, one thing I didn't mention, the other side, the Team Asia map is actually from our very own Ticket to Ride designer, Alan Ormoon. And this one is one of the winning maps, which was designed by François Valentine.
Okay.
And
So what was the special appeal about this map?
Special appeal, yes, we really liked the new components of the train cars that you discard, because that really changes the dynamic of the game in that it forces you to play with fewer trains and kind of makes for a very quicker paced game where using short routes is not necessarily to your disadvantage, whereas in a lot of the other versions, when you play short routes and your opponent plays long routes, they get a lot more points. So in the end, it's challenging to win with just short routes.
Right.
In this one, it balances things out
You get both
that way.
points and you rush the end of the game.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's what happens here. So we really liked that new dynamic that added pace, quicker pace to the game, and that's really the major difference with this one. The bonus also is interesting in that it's a unique bonus that we hadn't, given before, and it plays well with this balance of the length of the
Forces people to have
roads.
some
Yes.
new strategies if they are very familiar Ticket to Ride players.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what we like, to always have something new in the maps, but nothing that really changes fundamentally
Right, so
how
you
the
could
game
pick it up
mechanics
very
work.
quickly.
We Alan and we like to remain really faithful to the spirit of the game, but introducing a little new twist that will keep even the veteran players interested.
Why don't you grab the box there one more time,
Yes.
because we'll just show that. So this is Ticket to Ride Asia, which is available at your booth here at Essen.
Yes,
and,
for the first time.
Just to wrap up really quick, do you have an idea of when this is going to be stateside?
Yes, so actually in Europe it's going to be available starting just about a week after the show. And in the US, it's going to be available mid-November.
All right, so
Pretty soon.
quite soon. All right. Well, Christine, thank you so much, and Eric, thanks for sitting with us. And good luck with the opening of your
Thank you
booth
very
today.
much. It's
All
gonna be
right.